Joel here with Bodycam Breakdown TV. Today's footage comes from NY Detective. If you want to watch the original video without my commentary or breakdown, I'll have the full footage linked below so you can watch it start to finish. What started as a denied boarding situation quickly drew police to the airport after reports of a passenger creating a disturbance, setting the stage for an encounter that would soon test everyone's patience. The breakdown starts now.
Hey! Hi, man. What's going on?
Hi. Hey, can I speak to you, please?
Yeah, sure.
Officer Slater?
Yeah, I'm gonna record. That's fine. I'm recording too, so.
As you should.
Yeah, so what's going on?
Yes. Right. So, I came here. I had a connecting flight from.
Yeah. Okay.
I went outside, came back inside. They're like, oh, you're intoxicated. I
Okay.
had a drink right there.
Okay.
You can already see why officers are taking their time here. When someone's judgment appears impaired, getting clear answers becomes a lot more difficult.
Came back over here, and I said, oh, I'm gonna work. Man, my life.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no, well, you're overly intoxicated. No, what do you mean?
Okay.
I'm not being overly aggressive. I'm not, arguing with nobody else. I'm not doing anything that I'm not supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
I need to get to my grandmother who's going through dementia.
Yeah, I know, I can understand
I
that.
have a lot of things going on.
Okay.
Now that officers have heard her side of the story, they're about to explain why they were called in. Moments like this are important because it gives everyone a clear understanding of the complaint they're responding to before any decisions are made.
Okay, so can I tell you the reason why we were called here? It's obviously, so what you just said, they believe that.
You're recording? I'm recording for myself.
So, I got reason to believe that you are intoxicated, and that's what we've been called to, and that's what I'm investigating. So, do you have
So you would have, like, my recording of, like, what I have.
right now? No,
Doesn't
but
matter to you? Exactly.
can I have your ID though, please?
No.
Okay, that's
I'm not
fine.
comfortable giving you that. Because I
Okay.
don't feel like I should give you that.
After refusing to provide identification, officers are shifting to a different approach. The questions they're about to ask can help them gauge how aware she is of her surroundings and better understand what they're dealing with.
Okay, so do you know where you're at right now?
I know where I'm at. I'm in the airport. I'm in Tennessee, VNA.
Perfect. Okay.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I flew to here in an hour and 28-minute flight for me to go
Yeah.
connect this flight that was supposed to connect into 11:20 something.
Yeah.
For me to,
Okay.
I have to go see my grandmother. I have several appointments for my neck.
Notice how officers aren't rushing to interrupt her here. By letting her continue talking, they're able to gather information and better assess her condition based on her own responses.
Which I have 5 pinched nerves in my neck. And I have to get to. So I do not need you guys to grab me or hold me.
We're not doing anything like that.
I'm just saying, before that happens, I don't need anybody. I'm reporting you guys.
We're gonna escort you out this way though.
Yes, so I'm gonna call my bank
Yeah, that's fine. They've already refunded you.
and report so I can get my refund.
Officers are about to ask her to move to a non-secure area of the airport. In situations like this, relocating the interaction can help reduce disruptions and give everyone a better environment to work through what's going on.
Because I have appointments that I have to get to tomorrow.
Let's help you with that. Oh. So we're
Let's go together.
Control 18. Subjects refusing to identify will be escorting them to the non-secure side.
you want to do the
So you're gonna walk in front of us. You're gonna walk in front of us, okay?
take the escalator or the
I can walk on the opposite side, so we can walk together.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. You're not
You
walking
can walk on that
behind.
side. No, you can walk on that side, and I can walk with you.
We're
We
not
can
gonna
walk
tell each other
together.
what we're gonna do.
What I'm telling you is I don't feel comfortable.
Officers are trying to move the situation along, but cooperation is becoming a challenge. The longer it takes to gain compliance, the more difficult it becomes to resolve the encounter smoothly.
So if you keep refusing to walk, we are gonna
not
arrest you
gonna
for public
refuse.
intoxication, okay?
I'm
So
not intoxicated.
go ahead and walk.
though.
Well,
Go ahead and get you out.
It's not about being intoxicated. I just don't trust you.
it is a criminal offense. I will tell you that. So
Girl, please. Let's hear the bullshit.
Okay.
I can still walk where I'm going. I'm gonna record you.
not walking straight backwards. Let's keep walking,
We can
okay?
walk together.
You can see officers continuing to give her opportunities to comply on her own. In many situations, giving someone time to make the right decision can prevent the need for a more hands-on response.
I'm gonna ask you to walk, turn around, stop.
No, I am. I'm walking.
You're about to run into people. Walk straight.
Not touching me. I'm recording you.
He does it again, perfect.
No, I understand.
What, stop walking?
Do not touch me.
Alright, you're about to walk into a bunch of people.
I'm telling them. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Do not harass me.
This is the point where officers are weighing their remaining options. After multiple attempts to resolve the situation through communication, the focus shifts to determining the next appropriate step to bring the encounter to a conclusion.
I'm getting out the airport.
Control 18, we're going to be located in front of the TOIC.
Do not touch me. You guys have them?
Alright, so you're under arrest. Put your phone down.
No. No, you're hurting me. You're trying to hurt me. I have a back. I have an injury.
Stop resisting.
I have an injury. I have an injury in my shoulder.
Down the ground.
I have an injury in my shoulder.
There, right there.
Once an encounter reaches this stage, the challenge isn't just taking someone into custody, it's getting them to cooperate with the process. Based on how the interaction has unfolded so far, officers know this situation may not be resolved quickly.
I showed the surgery. I showed the surgery.
We should have thought about that.
I showed the surgery. I showed the surgery. They're hurting me. They're hurting me. They're hurting me.
Yeah.
They're hurting me. I'm about to get a lawsuit. I'm about to be sued.
Alarms on the way from the curb.
Oh my God. I'm having anxiety.
That's this body camera.
Oh.
Alright, get up now.
The encounter ultimately came to an end after officers were unable to gain voluntary compliance despite multiple attempts to resolve the situation through communication. The passenger was taken into custody and later charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. This incident is a reminder of how quickly a situation can escalate when simple requests go unanswered. Throughout the encounter, officers repeatedly tried to de-escalate and move the situation forward, but once cooperation broke down, their options became increasingly limited. What are your thoughts on how this encounter was handled? Could the situation have been resolved differently, or was the outcome unavoidable once communication started breaking down? Alright, that's it for this breakdown. If you found the video informative or enjoyed the commentary, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who enjoys Bodycam content. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below and let me know what stood out to you during this encounter. Thanks for watching Bodycam Breakdown TV, and I'll see you in the next one.